Colorado legalizes cannabis. Where'd all the weed come from? Guess what? It came from the black market.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it arrived, you're like, okay, it's legal now. It all came from the black market.
Yeah.
So there is a level of like gray area here where we had to induct the black market into the light. Like
Yeah.
we had to go, okay, we were doing it over here. Shh. And then now we're bringing it to the light. And I think that is really the most important thing about this show to me.
My name is Patrick Hackett, and I am the showrunner for High Science.
David McKillop, and I'm the executive producer for High Science.
I am Rick Batenburg III, and I am the dancing monkey.
The talent.
Meat puppet.
That's right. What'd you always call me?
Meat puppet.
There it is.
What do you call him?
Now you
Meat,
know.
meat puppet. Stand there. Do this. Say that.
Yeah, that was great. Do one more.
And Patrick, how were you brought into High Science?
So part of the team that was initially developing this, they knew that Rick and Rich were going to kind of be the vehicle for this show, and so they were looking for somebody in Colorado who could kind of hold the reins and get this thing done. And so somebody on the team knew that I was here, and my reputation is as such that I know how to put together media projects like this. So we had a couple conversations, and I was like, a weed show for television? I'm in. I am totally in.
Wasn't a tough sell for you.
No, not really. I mean,
I think we were the tough sell for you. Did you have to buy in? I have a question. I want answers right now, actually.
This is the truth.
This is the truth. This is where we find out. Is like how much when you rolled up and you saw Monica, me, and Rich, and you're like, oh man, like, we fucked up. Like this is exactly what I didn't want.
The first meeting I had was primarily Rich and Monica. And then you came in, I don't know, maybe like halfway through. And I was like, okay. And that was really just a fact-finding mission of like, okay, who are you guys? What are you guys doing? Like, what kind of products do you have? Where are we in this world?
Just had you gone through.
Yeah.
You answered 0. That's what.
And that was like,
That is not true.
oh,
I have been to one
One?
with one of our investors who brought me.
All right.
wait a minute, like dead or
Which real?
with Jerry or not Jerry?
Not Jerry.
Okay. So that doesn't count.
Okay.
No, I mean, I know this world from the other side of the counter. You know, I know this as a consumer. I know this industry from the side where I give you my money. And so I'm very much interested to see this whole entire world from the other side of the counter, to understand what it takes to get a product on the shelf, what it takes to develop a product, what it takes to market a product with all the restrictions and hindrances to get the word out about your products.
So you never dealt in high school?
You're not allowed to say that, dude.
Never mind.
I
We're all users. I mean, I'm older than you guys.
yes. I mean, everybody has a time where they get an ounce and then they sell off most of it so that their quarter or their eighth is a little bit cheaper. So yes, I mean, everyone's guilty of dealing in the underground to some sort, but that was not a chosen profession in any capacity.
This whole thing, magic, right? Is that this came from the ether, right? Colorado legalizes cannabis, and where'd all the weed come from? Guess what? It came from the black market.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it arrived, you're like, okay, it's legal now. It all came from the black market.
Yeah.
So there is a level of like gray area here where we had to induct the black market into the light. Like
Yeah.
we had to go, okay, we were doing it over here. Shh. And then now we're bringing it to the light. And I think that is really the most important thing about this show to me, was that bringing cannabis to the larger cultural message, right? Having cannabis be a part of the conversation, not as a, side, you're in the van, you're in the, walking with your cousins down the street and it's a secret, is that we have to bring it to the forefront of the conversation and it is a part of Americana because it is just like beer. It's just like wine. It's a part of America now. And this show is a very palatable way for people to understand what's actually happening. And I think that's what you guys have accomplished.
Yeah, kind of taking the taboo away. I mean, think about it. I mean, from business, you're running a business now that 10 years ago would have landed you in a federal penitentiary.
Right.
So that's kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're trying to get the taboo off of it, but also trying to have some fun with it.
Yeah, and I mean, even to that point, some of my good friends who were underground growers, once Colorado went recreational legal, there was some trepidation about them kind of entering into the legal market. I mean, they didn't fully trust it at first, but then on the flip side of that, some of them were like, listen, I can finally have like a facility and I can hire people and I have shifts. I can maybe go on vacation for the first time in 20 years where I don't have to like sit here and watch my plants 24 hours a day. And so this turning it into a process and a schedule and allowed some people to still do what they loved, but also give them part of their life back, the part where they weren't constantly looking over their shoulder, but also a little bit of that free time where it was like, there's my circle of trust is bigger and I can now trust more people to handle these plants. And then therefore I can do some recreational activities with my family or friends that I wasn't available to me before this.
I've always found that I thought that's what our role in this was the connective tissue to bring what is actually happening, right, to all of our culture, right, is to be that handshake,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's really the truth, is that, we put on a suit, but, Rich sold weed. A lot of people sold weed illegally. The industry would not be here without that industry.
Oh yeah.
Right. But, there needed to be a mechanism to take something that had no regulations, had no testing, and it had no structure, right? But it had a lot of culture. It had a lot of substance, like real substance that matters.
And folklore. And,
Mhm.
Right. And so trying to take that and give it to the people, because that's what it is all about, right? Is like we're
Right.
giving something to the people.
Yeah.
Right. Weed is for the people. Weed is for everybody. It helps everybody.
Yeah.
And we had to find a way to deliver that to the people. And the clear for us, that was the way that we did it. We're like, okay, this is the way that it becomes palatable, right, to the average person, right? If you don't know about cannabis, and I was one of those people, the clear is what brought me over the edge and discovered cannabis and the benefits and what it can do for you and how it can positively affect not just you, but also broadly our society.
Yeah.
Right. Opiate overdoses, right? Mental health. There are so many things that this plant touches.
And so many more that we haven't even discovered yet. That's the other thing.
Exactly.
I mean, I think it was Piasecki or somebody, one of the characters, he's a grower up in Massachusetts, but he kind of made the point that the cannabis plant is the equivalent of the dog in human, the plant similarity to the dog in human evolution. Is that
Yeah.
we co-evolved with the cannabis plant.
Yeah.
That's what he believes.
We're weed people now.
And it's only actually in modern times that it actually had been taboo. I mean,
Right.
archaeologists have found evidence of cannabis going back to the earliest archaeological sites.
Mhm.
So and Piasecki is great about it.
Well, but you guys
Yeah.
know as storytellers, right? We tell the same stories over and over.
That's right.
And so I'm grateful to be a part of you guys, seasoned professionals, right? Rainy, right? You guys. Seriously, Patrick, I've been very impressed with you on set, watching you be able to do everybody's job because you've actually done everybody's job.
With the same hat.
Well, it's very heartwarming to me as a hockey player, right? Like, it's everybody works. Like, the team works when everybody works, right? It's not
Right.
who's doing what or why they're doing it. Things work when everybody is focused on a goal, on creating something. And it's been an honor, sincerely, to watch you work, because you were never one that's like, well, I'm the director, I'm not going to do this, or I'm the director, I'm not going to do that. You're like, moving lights, don't care, like, we're going to make this thing happen. And I think that it's something beautiful when you're able to create art together, because you have an intrinsic trust between one another, and the communication is honest. Where it's like, hey, it doesn't matter who's doing what. There's no ego in that. It's about, we're trying to deliver an important message to people that need it, because guess what? This is a positive force on the universe.
Yeah, and also make this into a bro fest. But the reason we went with you and your dad was you had this passion and energy that works on television. The television box is it crushes things, and so a very low key people actually get crushed and they don't work on television. But you and your dad, the relationship.
You're saying I'm not Loki?
Say you're low key. I don't think anybody.
No one's saying you're low key.
That translates really well to television. And you guys have done an amazing job kind of being the guide
Yeah.
of putting together this jigsaw puzzle of science information and
Yes.
people and characters. And you've done it with such a flair and so much fun. So anyway, yeah, it takes a team, right?
Monica and I have a rule, right?
And Monica, who just hides over there, she's a star of the show too.
Star of the show. And I'll tell you what, she's been by my side for the last 6 years. And
Or she's like your co-evolution.
absolutely, I couldn't do this without her. And, I was raising money for a political candidate years ago. And I remember watching Monica help my grandmother to the car after the event. And I had a bingo moment. I was like, this is somebody who knows how to work a room. And it must have been like maybe 2 weeks after that, took you to lunch. I was like, this is the hardest job you're ever going to have. There are no hours. There's no job description. And it is whatever the fuck it takes. And I will never forget. She just smiled at me. She's like, all right, let's go.
We hired Patrick. Same thing. You have to, the best way to get something done in the world is to hire someone who is better than you at what you're trying to get done and have them do it.
Absolutely.
Then we make a good team.
Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with the team, and we had a great experience. And
Was any product used in the shooting?
Never. Never.
not
one time.
while cameras were rolling, but
An animal or human being on this set was exposed.
but when we were done, at the end of the day, we would definitely sit at a hotel in a back parking lot. And,
Calling straight bullshit on that. Actually.
I think we drank a lot. Actually,
I mean,
But that's-
you may have.
That's what we're here.
to talk about.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The acceptance of
Being functionally high.
Yeah, I mean, I live my life functionally high.
There you go.
I'm quite high right now,
There we go. Thank you.
and I appear to be functioning.
First, a level of honesty here. Now that we've wrapped.
I'm the opposite. If I got high right now, you'd have to take me to the emergency room.
It's everybody differently.
It's just too strong, right?
What
What I love is your guys' new push with the product line of
VFX.
the low THC. That is, as an old guy, I kind of want to go back to that weed that we had when we were kids, where you'd smoke a doobie that's, this big, and you'd laugh.
For effect.
And that, but now you take one hit of some of this shit and it's like,
Yeah.
Effective.
yeah, I need to go to the psych ward.
You know what? It's all about creating products that are designed for real people
Yeah,
at
exactly.
the end of the
Yeah.
day, And that's really what this show is all about, is that I think that collectively, the four of us that are sitting in this podcast room that Monica built with her own 2 hands,
To carry on. I mean, she's used the podcast here is just to carry on this mission.
right.
Yeah.
We believe that cannabis is a positive force in the universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
right. And that's what this is about.
And that is your
Period.
why. When
That's
people
right.
when they say, what is your why? Not, I don't want to know how you do your business or what you do. What is your why? And you just articulated it.
That's right.
And any business that can't articulate that why is going to have a hard time being successful.